Emerson Juniors, Malik and Lucas, talk to us about their experience as boyfriends. They speak about meeting one another and navigating both the pleasures and difficulties of being in a serious relationship with someone of the same sex, and essentially detail what being part of an interracial gay relationship is like. From sharing clothes and PDA to talk about marriage, the boys tell all about their story.
But we were roommates actually for 2 years, and we were randomly assigned the first time, and then we decided to live together again. And so we just got along really good as friends. And whenever we were sophomores, I guess there was just kind of like this physical attraction that evolved.
The couple also talks about challenges that they face regarding societal judgment.
I mean, I think the biggest thing is just like judgment and how people treat you sort of right off the bat.
I think a lot of things are easier because we're a gay couple. Like it's easier. It's easier to just like use the same bathroom, like in public spaces. It's easier to share clothing.
The boys also talk about their families and touch on the support that they've been given.
My family's so far, like my entire family has been really supportive of my relationship. Um, I don't know if they see it. I honestly haven't interacted like with extended family that much. Obviously, this is more like my parents, my grandparents. Um, but yeah, my parents are like very supportive of my relationship. They don't necessarily care that it's gay, but they would be fine with anything. I think. And as far as like race goes, I don't think that factors into how they feel about it either. I mean, I think it would only impact it negatively, and it obviously hasn't. So.
The boys address gay stereotypes and talk about their roles in their relationship.
Um, I don't really know. Um, like when I think about, um, I mean, I think there are stereotypes for gay men, obviously. But when I think about like stereotypes for interracial gay couples or anything like that, I don't know um, if there's an expectation for the way that like our roles in a relationship, like how we should act in the relationship. Um, I think within the gay community itself, there's obviously like fetishization. Um, and so there's that kind of like black white thing. Um, and there's like the expectation that like the black man is like dominant and assertive, and the white one is like meek and submissive. But that's really all I know in terms of like stereotypes for gay interracial couples or gay interracial like dynamics. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like a gay interracial couple is like society's like worst, nightmare. It's like the thing that they're so against. So there aren't really expectations for it, I don't think. And I think
The boys also share some opinions on President-elect and his vice president and commented on their views towards LGBTQ, noting their fear for the future of gays.
well, I mean, I feel very negatively towards both their views and what they've said in the past about LGBTQ people. Recently, Donald Trump said that he would support or he would protect LGBTQ citizens across the globe or whatever. So I don't know. I think he's only as good as his last word, honestly, which is always something different every 5 minutes. So it's difficult to really comment on his views. But I don't think there's any dispute that Mike Pence is a homophobic, individual, and that he's going to do anything he can to hurt the LGBTQ community in this country and the progress we've made. So.
From Trump to gay marriage, the boys also share some insight regarding their plans for the future.
It was very cool.
I don't know. I like originally, I think before this year, I was pretty adamant about like I don't want to get married for like ever, because I just didn't like the idea of being legally bound to anyone. However, I did hear about the benefits of marriage, um, specifically financial, and also being able to like visit your partner in the hospital is like a pretty big deal. So I think reluctantly, yes, I will. I would like to get married. I wouldn't like it, but I would get married. I wouldn't have a wedding, but I would get But I would get married if it was beneficial.
The boys also talk about things they like to do as a couple.
Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of like favorite foods, or just foods that we like to eat together. And so a lot of times, if we're like, we'll eat dinner and lunch together, and we have places that we like, we have dishes that we like. So that's always my favorite thing. Like, I can't get those things if I'm not with Malik because I have associations with it.
They also talk about PDA, comparing it to that of a straight couple.
How do I feel about PDA? I mean, we hold hands in public, and every so often, we'll kiss in public, but that's usually it. Like, it's a peck. Whereas, like, straight couples on the tee, like, waiting for the tea in the library at Emerson, like, I mean, it's just I never feel the need to like act that way with you in public, just because, like, I don't know, like, that I love you. I don't need, like, no one around us needs to, like, know how much I love you.
They also talk
Very
about
smart,
open
very
relationships
smart,
and discuss
smarter
whether
than
or
me, which I
not
don't
it
like
is
to admit,
something
but
that they'd
smart.
be interested in the near or
And
far
very talented
future.
too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if were ever to be like a long-term open relationship, I think the thing is, like, obviously I'm attracted to people that he's not, and he's attracted to people that I'm not, and I think that's very like hard for some people, like in our case, to sort of like keep in mind, because it's seen as like cheating or whatever. And I think, I mean, obviously if there's not consent, that it is cheating, but I think sexual preference is just so like wild, and it's just so like individual. And I think that's the thing with sex life. It's like it's really just like your thing, and it can be separate from your relationship. And I feel like even if we were to be open, that the connection that we share, I would never feel like you would have a sexual experience that you would value more than our connection.
Yeah.
All in all, the boys seem to be happy with one another,
I would ask your professor.
noting the fact that their relationship is no different than any
that's true.
other.
I guess
They recall why it is they fell in love.
What I like most about Malik is that he's very sort of self-motivated. Like, I like Malik is just like, he's very on top of his life. He's someone I can look to for stability. If I'm ever worried about something or nervous about something, he's always the person I go to sort of like get back into my head. He calms me down. He makes me feel confident. He makes me feel like there's no issue that I can't overcome. So that's what I like most about him.
What I like most about Lucas, very smart, very smart, smarter than me, which I don't like to admit, but smart, and very talented too. And I think I've become a lot smarter being with him, and I think I've realized my own talents through being with him. And so I think that has been like overall like why I fell in love with him in the first place was that he's very like, he just has a lot of wisdom.
Lucas and Malik are yet another example of the evident strength and courage of the LGBT community. Together, they show that we're all just people who happen to fall in love with other people. For JR1